Welcome to Learn with Amine. In this video, we'll write a program for maximum product subarray. It is also one of the frequently asked interview questions, especially in FANG companies. So here in this problem, we are given an array called as nums and it contains integers, so both positive and negative values. We are supposed to find a subarray that has the largest product and return the product. This problem is very similar in terms of problem description to the maximum subarray where the sum is maximum. Now here the product is maximum. There is a subtle difference which actually matters a lot in terms of product, so I will be explaining that. And here we are given two examples. So for example, if you see here, there is one negative number, okay, and just because this negative number is present over here, 2 into 3 is the maximum. If this was a positive number, 2 into 3 into 2 into 4 would have been the maximum. And if the 4, instead of being plus 4, if it was minus 4, then 2 into 3 into minus 2 into minus 4 would have been the largest product. So I think you understand where I am getting at. The negative sign, it causes a problem. It brings a twist to this particular problem. Okay, and also the presence of 0 brings a twist. If there was no 0 here, then minus 2 into minus 1 would have been the maximum. Just because of 0 being present here, the maximum product is 0. Now the twist, because of the presence of the negative numbers, if you think about it, if there is one negative sign, the product becomes negative and the product becomes a minimum. Now soon after that element, if there is another negative number, then the product of that negative and this new element which is negative, it becomes the maximum. Okay, the presence of two minus signs, it can bring out the maximum value. The presence of one negative number can make that maximum value to a minimum value. So that is why in this problem we are going to make sure that we store the value of the minimum product also. When we were doing the problem on maximum sum in a subarray, we did not we did not store the value for the minimum sum. We just used a variable maxsum to store the value of the maximum sum. So here there is that subtle difference. Let's jump into the program right away. So I am going to define a class solution. You can name it anything. Define maximum product subarray, and it needs to have an argument. I will be naming it as nums. Okay, now as I have told you, in order to deal with the negative values, I am going to have current minimum product as a variable, and I'm also going to have a variable current maximum product to store the maximum product, and also a current minimum product in order to store the minimum product, because presence of another negative value can convert minimum to maximum and maximum to minimum. So I am going to initiate it to nums of 0, which is the first element. Both of these variables will be equal to nums of 0. Now let us name that result will be my result, and I am currently initiating it to nums of 0. So you know here what is our aim. Our aim is that we need to return the result that will store the maximum product in a subarray present in the array nums. Okay, now since we have already initiated all these variables to nums of 0, I will be iterating over the elements from the index 1 to the maximum index, which is length of nums minus 1. Okay, so here in this particular problem we need to make use of index. So because of that I am going to have an iteration that with the index value. So for example, if I don't need index, I would be just telling for nums of 1 to end, and this would be my for loop. But since I require index values, I will be telling for I in range of 1 to length of nums comma 1. Okay, so this will be iterating through the index 1 to length of nums minus 1. Okay, so then here current maximum product, I will be doing the operation on, so maximum of nums of I comma nums of I into current maximum product comma nums of I into current minimum product. So this would be the current maximum product using the max function, and similarly we will be having current minimum product using the minimum function on the same elements, nums of I into current maximum product and nums of I into current minimum product. Now here there is another catch. The catch is that current maximum product variable and current minimum product variable both need to be changed at the same time. Okay, now if I write these two variables into separate lines, then what happens is current maximum product will change, and then the current minimum product will be calculated using the new value of the current maximum product. But I do not want that. I want current maximum product and current minimum product to change at the same time using the current maximum product and current minimum product from the previous iteration. So using the values from the previous iteration. So in order to change them at the same time, I am going to do current max product comma current minimum product is equal to maximum of these elements comma minimum of these elements. So this is the notation of a comma b equal to those operations. Okay, so this is how you do it, and then finally the result would be the maximum of result comma current maximum product. That's it. So this will give us the result. Okay, let us see how we are going to write the object. My object is equal to name of the class. Then we will be writing some test cases, nums1, nums2, nums3, and then we are going to use this my object to call the user defined function and pass nums1 as the argument. Same we'll do that for nums2 and nums3. Okay, and let me just use some examples. So this can be the nums1 array, this can be the nums2 array, and this can be the nums3 array, and let us run this. Okay, and as you can see, there is the presence of only one negative value, and 2 into 3 it gives the maximum product of a subarray, so that is our output, and the presence of 0, it makes the maximum product to be 0. And here if you can see, there are 3 negative values. Okay, using these first 4 elements, the product would become 8, 8, 3, 24, 24, 2, 48. Okay, and using these last 4 elements, 3 to 6, 6, 4, 24, 24 times 4 is 96. Because of minus into minus, it becomes plus. So you see my point, how The presence of a negative sign can change a minimum value to a maximum value and maximum value to the minimum value. So this is returned 96. Now if we see at the time complexity, we are using only one iteration over n elements, so that is big O of n. And the space complexity is, we are not using any extra space, we are just using that result variable, so it can be big O of 1. So that's it. This is the program of maximum product subarray. If you like this video series and daily learning, please comment, like and share. Also please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.